friends, it's your local vintage gremlin, 8-Bit Mermaid, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to take you thrifting to my absolute favorite thrift store in Orlando. I'll mainly be looking for myself, but of course if I come across any specific vintage items that are really cool that don't necessarily work for me, I will be grabbing them for my vintage booth in Winter Park. So let's go ahead and see what we can find. So we didn't find too much for me at that last thrift store. We found a cardigan, a sweater, and then a sweater and a dress for my vintage booth. So not too good of a day for us. So I'm at a second thrift store, my local Goodwill. It's right next to UCF, the local university. So usually this is where I'll find a lot of trendier modern pieces, whereas the last one tends to be where I find a lot of my specific vintage pieces. So I'm a little more hopeful for here that I'll be able to find some cute winter clothes. Most of the time all of my fast fashion items actually come from here. I try very hard not to buy fast fashion from the source, but I do end up thrifting it a lot. The only time that I really break that rule is if I need something immediately, something very specific, and even then I'll try to thrift it first, usually here, if it's something modern. But you don't always get lucky, and sometimes I have to buy a couple of modern pieces, but that doesn't happen very often. So let's go ahead and see if we can find a couple things here. Fingers crossed. So we are all done with our second thrift store for the day. Actually, I got quite a few more things here, but it was really crowded, so I actually didn't get a lot of actual filming done. I guess maybe because it's a holiday week, people have today off, even though it's before noon on a weekday. I don't know. Alrighty, now that I'm home, we can get to the very best part of any Thrift With Me video, which is the try-on haul at the very end. So we're going to start with the items that I purchased for myself, and then switch to some honorable mentions at the end for the things I purchased for my vintage booth that won't necessarily work for me. So the first thing that I am going to show you is my favorite out of the entire trip, which is this white and purple floral 80s dress. It's really cute. The pattern is feels very 80s, which I absolutely adore. It goes with my hair pretty well, and also I think I'll be able to incorporate it into my wardrobe even if my hair color changes later on. It is substantial enough to be able to wear with like a cardigan during the winter, so it won't be, you know, super lightweight, but also lightweight enough to wear during the spring and summer, which is kind of where the temperature usually lies around in Orlando. Alright, next up I have this really cute pink blouse that almost quite matches the pink in my hair. It's got this, these really nice double row of buttons that kind of peg it as, you know, like 80s vintage, but not so much that it looks outdated. I'll be able to wear it with a high-waisted skirt or something for a cute date, or just like, you know, a very fancy errands run. We also have this, I want to say 80s or 90s, it's probably late 80s, early 90s polka dot button-up skirt. It's actually exactly kind of what I was looking for, black, so it'll work with any of my hair colors, and also I really love polka dots. But again, not so dated that I can't just throw it on with like a tank top and just use it as a like casual, can pretty much do anything in skirt. Like I said, I really don't like pants, so I'd love to have just really nice, like lightweight skirts to throw over something to just go out if I need to go outside. Going outside, what a strange concept in 2020. Next we have the novelty sweater. I'm such a sucker for 80s novelty sweaters. Actually, this whole haul is pretty much almost exclusively 80s. It even has the shoulder pads. This is a little bit out of my current color palette. It's got some more pastels, which I love, but my hair is a little dark for pastels right now. But I might be able to just pull it off with I have some really nice pink shorts that might go pretty well with it. These are things that I usually can't pull off myself, but are still really cute, but they're not in my color palette or not in my size, but I still pick them up for my local vintage booth. Here we have this really, really adorable corduroy and plaid, like Winnie the Pooh Christmas dress. It's actually really, really long. I wouldn't be able to pull this off, but Vintage Disney does tend to do pretty well in my local store. If I were to wear it, I would probably cut this off a lot shorter, like maybe cut that skirt off in half and then throw a like chunky cardigan over it. But I am not going to do that. I'm going to leave it for someone who can appreciate it in its entirety, and then they can change it if they want to. It's a little big for me, so I wouldn't really be able to do much with it anyway. But this little Winnie the Pooh, little mistletoe, it's so cute. Another 80s novelty sweater. Who would have guessed? This is definitely a color that is not within my color palette right now. Otherwise, I might actually would have kept it. I think it'd be really cute over some like nice high-waisted shorts to provide a little bit of extra warmth, but it's actually pretty thin. So I think I'd be able to wear it even during the Florida winters. It's got a lot of nice, really cute, different like patterns and textures on it. They had the best sweaters in the 80s. I don't usually go for denim. Which is why I will not be keeping this. This will be going into my booth, but it is really cool. I love a good embroidered, like floral accent. This is a really cute denim, again 80s. I guess that's just the theme of today. It's got these little shoulder pads, but 80s dress. I think it would be really cute for wandering around the Garden Inn with like a little straw hat, because it's so cute. I love embroidered florals. They're so excellent. I think it's just a little bit outside of my aesthetic, but it's still really, really adorable. Alrighty friends, thank you so much for joining me for my very first Thrift with me and my very first YouTube video. If you'd like any additional thrift, vintage, or antique content, please comment down below what you'd like to see, and of course you can follow me on Instagram, Twitch, and now YouTube. I will see you guys next time.